In this video, we're going to go through a quick overview of everything that Hovercode has to offer. Let's get started. The main thing you're going to be wanting to use Hovercode for is creating and managing dynamic QR codes. So let's go through that first. Now here's what the dashboard looks like, and at the top here is where you create new QR codes. You can add a link or select a type. Most people create QR codes with links, so let's just do that. You can customize a QR code in various ways, which I'll just demonstrate here. And then if you need to, you can do some organizational things as well, like add a display name for the QR code so you remember what it's being used for, maybe add some tags or select a custom domain. We'll go through a bit more of the organizational stuff later in this video. One of the main benefits of using dynamic QR codes versus static QR codes is that with dynamic codes, you get tracking and analytics built in by default. So let's have a quick look at those features. Now here's what the analytics looks like when you're looking at an individual QR code's analytics. You can see when the QR code's been scanned, the locations of the scan, and extra details like that. Now I'll mention here that the locations you see, they're just rough estimates. So they're useful for kind of getting trends, kind of data that give you estimates of where your QR codes are being scanned. But if you need to know exactly where a QR code is being scanned, they're not super useful. We do have a feature that does actually give you the more accurate location data, but that requires the user to opt into sharing their location data. When I say the user, I mean the person scanning the QR code. So now let's go ahead and look at the workspace analytics, which shows you the stats and analytics for all of your QR codes in a workspace. Now the cool thing here is that you can filter these by tags. So if you've tagged your QR codes for things like a marketing campaign or a certain product, or however way you want to organize your QR codes, you can view the analytics for all of those QR codes separate to the other QR codes in your workspace. And you can also filter by date and time. We've got a good few flexible options here. If you want to see the analytics in different ways, you can do that. You can export your data. So I'll quickly go through what that looks like here. There's multiple ways to export it. You can export a report that kind of goes through an overview of your QR code analytics. And then you can just export all of the activity data. And again, you can filter these reports by tags and times, which is super helpful. The other way you can get access to your QR code data is via the API. So if you have developers on staff or you're working with some developers and you're trying to build some sort of custom system, you can use the API to pull out that data from Hovercode automatically. Now, one of the other major benefits of dynamic QR codes is that you can edit the scan destination after the QR code's been created. So if you create a QR code that goes to a PDF, for example, and you need to change that in the future, you can do that. You can change it to a link type and change it to the different link destination, or you can keep it as the same type, for example, PDF, and just change the PDF that people see when they scan your QR code. This is super helpful, and this is how it's done. In terms of keeping your QR codes organized and managed well, we have a few features that help you do that. The first is you can set display names on QR codes when you create them, or even after you create them. This helps you remember what the QR code is being used for. You can also manage your QR codes by tags, and this is quite flexible. You can add multiple tags to QR codes. For example, you could tag a QR code based on the product it's being used for, a marketing campaign it's being used for, or essentially however you want. And these tags kind of filter through to the rest of the platform. So if you want to see analytics for QR codes in a certain tag, you can do that. If you want to export data about QR codes for a certain tag, you can do that. And if you just want to see QR codes from a certain tag in your dashboard, you can do that too. Now, another way you can organize your QR codes is by using multiple workspaces. Perhaps you're an agency or you're a headquarters for a franchising company. You can create a workspace for each client or each franchisee, and they can create QR codes in that workspace. They can create templates, they can add custom domains, they can view the analytics, but they can't see the other workspaces or anything related to the other workspaces in the same account. So you can set up and manage those workspaces and invite the members. You can pay for the whole account that includes all of the workspaces, but the actual members only can access and create QR codes and manage QR codes in their own workspace. So that covers most of the main features you'll be using Hovercode for. You're mostly going to be using it to create dynamic QR codes and manage those. But we do have a bunch of other features that are worth checking out. For example, there's the custom domain feature, which we'll add a link in the description below to. And then we also let you create short links as well as micro landing pages, which are useful for sharing pages that help people access multiple links. So for example, if you want to create a QR code that sends people to a page that shares all of your social media profiles, those micro landing pages are perfect for that. We do have a pretty generous free plan, so if you just want to explore the platform in your own time, I encourage you to just sign up, click around, see what's available, see what you think, and if you have any questions, please get in touch.